Hi everyone, Kelly here from YRH ICU Education. Today we're going to do a quick practical review of the 3M Ranger Pressure Infusor System, also known as the machine you don't want to be meeting for the first time during a GI bleed at 3 o'clock in the morning. Our goal today is simple: become more comfortable with the setup and understand how it works, improve confidence using it during massive hemorrhage protocols and other emergency rapid transfusion situations. This isn't about memorizing every button. It's about building familiarity so the setup feels smoother during stressful moments. When patients are severely bleeding, they can rapidly develop shock, coagulopathy, hypothermia, and acidosis. And unfortunately, cold blood plus cold fluids can worsen that spiral. The Ranger helps us warm blood and fluids to 41 degrees, rapidly infuse under pressure, and reduce heat loss during resuscitation. Basically, warm blood is happier blood. The Ranger system can achieve very rapid flow rates when paired with high flow tubing and appropriate vascular access. The Ranger can only flow as fast as the access allows. So even though the machine is capable of high flow rapid infusion, a tiny 22 gauge IV is still a tiny 22 gauge IV. You can't push fire hose volumes through a coffee straw. So for massive hemorrhage, 14 gauge, 16 gauge short peripheral IVs are preferred. Cordis are excellent. A humeral IO access can also work very well in emergencies. A great phase to remember is the Ranger creates the pressure, but the access determines the speed. Let's quickly meet the team. The system includes the warming unit, dual pressure chambers, the high flow tubing set, power cord, and pressure infuser stand. The dual chambers are especially useful because you can alternate bags during rapid transfusion without stopping flow. And yes, it definitely looks more intimidating before you touch it than after. The Ranger is ideal for massive hemorrhage protocols, trauma, GI bleeds, obstetrical hemorrhage, major surgery, and septic shock requiring a large volume replacement. Suitable fluids include packed red blood cells and crystalloids like saline, D5, or Ringer's lactate. Regarding platelets and plasma and chiral, these are not suitable. We are going to follow what transfusion medicine recommendations. Our transfusion medication recommendations and institutional policies we follow are the blood product administration policy and procedure. The Ranger operates around 41 degrees Celsius, which stays within the Nova Scotia health policy limits of not exceeding 42 degrees. Tubing and filter still need to be changed according to policy after 4 hours, after 4 blood component units, or sooner if contamination or occlusion is suspected. We do need an authorized prescriber's order to use the fluid Ranger. So use the Ranger safely, but always let transfusion medicine guidance and policy lead your practice. One reason many sites prefer the Ranger over other systems is the dry heat technology. This means no water baths, less maintenance, less contamination risk, and simpler setup. The system also has an auto-venting bubble trap, dual independent chambers, and audible and visual alarms. We aim for less fighting with the equipment and more focus on the patient. The Ranger blood and fluid warming unit itself uses heat technology, no water reserve, less chance for contamination risk. So overall, the Ranger is designed to provide rapid, efficient, and safer warming during emergency transfusion situations. The 3M Ranger pressure infuser. The system includes the pressure infuser, IV pole, and it can accommodate fluid bags ranging from 250 mils up to 1 liter. Each chamber functions independently, allowing 2 bags to be pressurized simultaneously. This is very helpful during a rapid transfusion situation. The Ranger high flow warming set tubing. These are single-use sterile warming sets designed specifically for use with the Ranger Model 245 warming unit. As fluid flows through the cassette, it is warmed before reaching the patient. The high flow set can support rates from kVO, open all the way up to 500 mils per minute under optimal conditions. Key prep steps before priming the Ranger warming system. So we want to have it secured to a pole, plugged into a grounded outlet. We're going to slide the cassette in one way. It only fits one way. And before priming, we want to remove excess air from the IV bags. Ensure all lower lock connections are secure. Connections may feel intentionally loose initially to maintain sterility within the package. So verify the connection use. Good setup at the beginning helps prevent troubleshooting issues later during rapid transfusion. Priming the high flow warming set, we're going to start by clamping below the IV spike, spiking the bag, and priming the drip chamber 2/3 full. Next, we're going to allow the bubble trap to fill. Gently tap it and remove the trapped air before placing it on the holder on the warming unit. And then we're going to continue prime sequentially all the way down until the air is removed. And then we're going to close the clamps until ready to infuse. Finally, after that, we're going to turn on the warming unit. How to load the pressure and pressurized infusor chambers. First, open the pressure chamber door, place the IV solution bag inside. Make sure the bag ports and spikes hang below the metal fingers. We're going to make sure it's securely closed, and then press the corresponding pressure infuser button to inflate the chamber to the target pressure range. So once pressurized, open the clamps to begin rapid warming fluid flow to the patient. So changing a fluid bag during infusion, first we want to turn off the pressure chamber and clamp the tube before opening the door. Remove the empty bag, and we're going to spike the new one and remove the excess air. We want to place the bag fully in, close and latch the door, and once the chamber returns to the in-range pressure status, we're going to reopen the clamp and resume rapid flow. Each chamber functions independently and has its own power button and pressure indicator. No light may indicate the unit is unplugged, powered off, or experiencing a system fault. Amber means the chamber is in standby mode and ready to be turned on. So the alarms are actually pretty straightforward. High pressure alarm is above 330 millimeters of mercury. Low pressure alarm below 230 millimeters of mercury.
Welcome to the 3M Fluid Ranger training. Welcome to the 3M Fluid Ranger training. This is the warming unit. These are the pressurized units. It has specific tubing that we're going to place in. Before we turn it on, we're going to have it at least 44 inches high and plugged into a grounded plug. The tubing can only go in one way, as demonstrated. Slides in. We want to make sure that these are spiked or clamped before spiking the bag. For any pressurized bag system, we'll want to burp the bag or get rid of any extra air. You could do that with a syringe or this old way of making a hole, getting rid of the air, and down it goes. So here, this is still clamped, opening up the door, sliding it in, making sure that these are sticking out the ports. You can close the door. So now I want to prime my system. I'm going to unclamp this one, and it's going to, come down. I've had it clamped after, and I'm going to saturate my inline filter 2/3 full, right? Saturated. After that, I'm going to go below my bubble chamber and make sure this is clamped. This is one of the special features of this. It has a bubble chamber that can collect all the bubbles. So I am now going to open up, this clamp, and this is going to saturate my chamber. Give it a moment. A little bit lower. We can tap out any extra air, and this is where the bubble chamber resides. We're going to unclamp, and it will be ready. We have now going to turn this on. There's your on switch. It starts at a lower temperature, and it will go until it's 42 to get warmed up. Now that I'm ready for my patient, I can. It's still 35. I'm going to wait for it to heat up. In the meantime, while it's heating up, I can prime my second bag. So this can take 100 mils up to all the way to 1,000 mils. This is clamped. Spike my bag. Burp any air out. Open my chamber. Put it in. Make sure the ports are out. Close the door. And I'll be going to get this one ready to prime now because this one's hot. How we turn this on, underneath in the bottom, this is the on switch. This is your button to show we're pressurizing. It's yellow, we haven't pressurized yet. We're going to press green. A green light is good. It means we're at 300 of mercury of pressurization, and we can open it up when this is at 40. We're getting ready, and now we're going to deliver to our patient. It's pretty fast flow. So that's going to stream in up to 333 mils a minute. It can go up to 500 according to your CVAT or your vascular access device. When that is completed, we will get ready to switch to the other bag. So less than a minute for that bag. I can get this one pressurized in the meantime. It's getting ready. This bag's almost empty. When this bag is empty, you'll see. Emptying. I will clamp this one and unclamp that one, and your next one chooses. And you'll keep going until your fluid resuscitation is resolved. Thank you.
If alarm occurs, we're going to check the chamber doors, assess tubing, verify clamps, and look for connection issues. If flow is slow, first think small IV equals small flow. And if you ever hear the alarm and immediately feel your cortisol rise, you're not alone. Most issues are simple troubleshooting fixes. Basic standby and power troubleshooting. If the unit or indicator lights are not functioning, first check the power cord, the outlet, the main power switch under the unit. If the issue persists after basic checks, remove the device from service and contact biomedical engineering. Common pressure infusor troubleshooting issues. If the alarm occurs, first assess the power, chamber door closure, tubing connections, and pressure status. Low pressure alarms often relate to loose doors or loss of chamber pressure, while high pressure alarms occur above 330 millimeters of mercury. If problems continue after basic troubleshooting, remove the device from service and contact biomedical engineering. After use, discard the disposable warming system, wipe down the unit, inspect for damage, and return it to its designated storage location. Biomedical engineering supports preventative maintenance, and heating plates can be cleaned using the Ranger cleaning tool. To finish, here's a memory aid. 41, 333. 41 degrees Celsius warming temperature. 300 millimeters of mercury equals the chamber pressure. 333 plus mils per minute equals potential rapid flow capacity with large bore access. So the big takeaway is warm it, prime it, pressurize it, monitor it, save body heat, and save time. So thanks everyone for taking the time to review the Ranger system with me. The best way to build confidence with this equipment is hands-on practice and simulation. So please take opportunities to touch the equipment, practice setup, and ask questions. The goal is simple. When the emergency happens, the equipment feels familiar instead of stressful. Thanks, everybody.